Hi, my name's Anthony Magliere. I'm running for the Kendall County Board. I've got Jim Smiley from Kendall County here to talk about the solar project that the county is working on. And Jim, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about your role with the county and exactly what you're doing with the solar project?
Jim Smiley, I'm the Kendall County Facilities Management Director. I've been here since 2006. The solar project is something we've been working on for several years to get to the point that it's at, currently, but it's now moving along and well under construction. So
That's great. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. So, just for people that don't know exactly where is the field that's going to house this solar array located?
it's to the west side of the Kendall County Public Safety Center, which is also the sheriff's office and the 911 center for the county and the jail.
Gotcha. Here, I'll share my screen here. Maybe we can look at a map, and I can kind of try to point it out, make sure we're talking about the same thing here. So, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Great. So, so you're saying it's on the west side of
the jail there, where it says jail.
Right. So if I switch into satellite view here. So kind of, there's probably an older picture here, but is it this lot here with these trees?
Yes, those trees are gone, but that is where it's located now.
Okay, gotcha. Great. That's helpful for me. And I understand this project's been under development for some time. You said a number of years.
Yes, I didn't look back to see, but I think we started about 3 years ago, if I remember right.
Okay. And what was the original scope for the project? Where was it supposed to, well, what was the intention to power those county buildings just directly around it, more or less, and kind of who introduced it? How did they get going?
I've been working with Chris Childers from Progressive Energy for a while. He helps me develop my electric and natural gas budgets, and he's always looking at other things that can help us and other customers and people that he works with like Kendall County. And he brought it to me, and I talked about it at facilities, and they were interested. So kind of got developed that way, and ultimately turned into a full proposal, which the board approved, and then we started working on the implementation.
Great. So you two are the originators of it then?
Pretty much.
Originator of the idea.
Came to me first. I'm pretty sure that's the way it happened, and then we took it to facilities, like I said, and then to the full board.
Got it. And I'm sure there are some documents I could probably find if I look at some of the old board packets as far as kind of the original, the cost estimates and the what it was projected to go in. There have been some delays, I'd imagine, getting this thing going. Can you talk a little bit maybe about what the original cost was supposed to be, where it's projected to be now, and the idea of when it would pay for itself and maybe the savings to the taxpayers eventually?
There's no cost to Kendall County. It's being put in. There were some grants. There were some through the state and feds that were put together to entice this production of solar energy. And since Kendall County doesn't pay taxes, they have to go through somebody that does pay taxes. So that's why it got involved with the company we ultimately settled on, was this GREEN, GRNE is the acronym for the company. I would just call it GREEN to be short. So they're putting it in. They get some payback. I believe it's within 7 years they get a certain amount of their payback. Also, part of this is that the county agreed to directly purchase the power to power the public safety center, the courthouse, and the health building directly at a lower rate than what we'd pay ComEd. Plus, it's after the meter, so we don't have transportation costs on it.
So those buildings directly in the vicinity there would be directly connected to the inverters at the solar field then?
Yes.
Okay, so it's as I understand it then, if I'm understanding you correctly, this green company actually is going to manage or own it, and then they're going to sell the county power back from it at a rate lower than the ComEd rate, and also avoids the transit charge for ComEd or Ameren or whoever it is.
Yes, ComEd.
Got it. And their interest in it is that they get to maybe have excess capacity beyond what the county will use that they get to sell back to the utility, and that's where they get their profit from helping us
No,
do it. Is that
the
it?
idea is it's not gonna be all the power that we need for facilities. Obviously at night, it's not gonna generate power. So we're gonna be still on ComEd. So we'll use ComEd at night, and then during the day's production, it'll power directly the buildings.
So it'll power directly buildings, but it's not connected back to feed back into the grid at all. It's strictly for the county. Is that right?
If there was excess capacity, I believe it could, but that would be a question for Green. All I
Okay.
know is the county side of it.
Got it. So I guess I can ask him if in fact we're using the ComEd as like a virtual battery per se, where we have excess and feed it in, we get credits, and that we use those credits at night when the sun isn't shining or on cold, cloudy days, etc.
I don't think we get those credits, though. That would be Green if that is possible. That again, that would be a question to ask Green.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll follow up with them and do a second part of this at a later time. I know your time is limited here. What was the original estimate for time on this? I know there were some fencing issues, I think, that were slowing it down. Can you talk a little bit about when they were expected to be done with this project, where it's at now, and what the current ETA is?
Right now, it's progressing. They're starting to install the actual solar panels on it. We're still working out the connections to all of the facilities, the direct paths that they're going to be using, things like that. But the idea is that it would become active roughly October, and we're being told that it should be fully operational by November.
Wow, that's great. And what were some of the things that caused delays, and what was the original ETA? Was it expected to be done like last year or something like that?
We thought it'd be done originally earlier this year, but in the very beginning of it, there were some delays with the state. There was a certain way they said they were going to give out the grants, because there was grants for this type of solar. There was also grants for the community solar, like you mentioned, that would go out to households and other businesses and things like that. Originally, they were going to do these types first and do the other ones, but we were told that kind of got flip-flop. I'm not sure the reasoning for that, but they ended up delaying initially approving the grants for this type of power. Once that was done, we did this is actually, the county doesn't own it, as I said, Green owns it. It's a land lease with the county. And because of that, Green had to apply for a special use permit with the city of Yorkville. And the original conditions on that took a little while for that to go through. It always does, because you have to do public notices and things like that. And then the fence originally was stated to be a vinyl, PVC vinyl type fence, and there were certain landscaping restrictions on it. And when they started to build it, get ready to build it, found out the price of the fence was a lot higher than what we thought. So it was suggested to see if we could amend that. We found we couldn't amend it, so they actually applied for a second special use permit. And again, that took a little while to go through, but finally it was done, and the fence was changed to the wooden fence it is now, and some of the landscaping was changed. But again, had local business input around the property, and the residents, had to do the notices and all that, just like the first time.
Got it. And I guess before I let you go, I know you're busy. You got some other things to attend to. What is I think you looked up for me the make and model of the PV panels, the photovoltaic panels that
Yeah,
installing.
that's the one thing I didn't know. The manufacturer is a company called Talsun, Talesun. They're telling me there's 330 of 330 watt type panel, and there's 395 of the. Oh, I guess that's the last numbers on it designate the wattage. So there's 330 watt versions, and there's 395 watt versions. So there's 4,176 of the 395s, and there's 1,368 of the 330s, for a total of 5,554 modules total.
5,554 modules. And see, I didn't do the math on that for the
It's
megawatts capacity.
2 megawatts.
2 megawatts. Okay, cool.
Yep.
And they're going to have obviously inverters there on site to feed those buildings.
Inverters, they're going to track to the sun, so they'll turn.
Oh, cool.
to the sun and for the low sun in the fall and, things like that.
Cool. Well, sounds like a really cool setup. Maybe I'll either do a second call with the guy from Green or just shoot him an email to get some of those things answered and put it in the comments. I really appreciate you taking some time out, Jim, to chat with me about this. Anything else I should know about this project that I forgot to ask?
The savings estimate, I mean, it should be an immediate savings to taxpayers as far as it's estimated to save the county around $150,000 a year on electrical use. So,
and of course, people I talk
I'm
to, the
not saying
voters,
that the tax bills are going to go down by that much,
exactly.
obviously,
They
but
would say, "Hey, when's my tax bill going down?"
but yeah, it's that much less that I have to request in my budget.
Right.
So,
And every little bit helps, right? We all want to see numbers going down, not numbers going up. I really appreciate you personally and that the other guy from Green getting this going. I think it's going to
his
be
name's
great.
Eric Peterman. I can
Eric Peterman.
give you
Yeah.
his contact
Yeah. Shoot me
information.
after this in an email. That would be great. And I'll follow up with him with maybe an email and get those questions answered. Really excited to see this get going. I'll probably go over there and take some pictures. Obviously, don't go inside the fence line or whatever, but just
Yeah.
I want to put my eyes on it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures every so often, so I could probably shoot you a picture too. So,
Oh, that'd be great too. Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
All
I
right.
appreciate it. And we'll be in touch. Thanks a lot, everyone,
All
for
right. Have a
watching.
good weekend.
You too. Bye.